for a week. Was it a week or 5 days?
I was 5 days.
Yeah. And
Friday.
the first thing I want to ask is, the piece of work that you worked on when you were here, was it brand new? Or
Yeah, it was completely brand new.
did you, sorry.
Yeah, it was new. I think I wanted to, as someone who predominantly works with movement, I just wanted to kind of like explore text, storytelling, and singing.
Did you have it in your head at all when you arrived? Or
I had a sense of what I wanted to, I had some characters that I wanted to explore. I just didn't know how I was gonna take those characters, in what form.
so how was it being here for the week?
It was brilliant. I think I'm used to working in a studio which is just a typical studio with lights and just too bright. But I think instantly I had a lot to play with, because I think I'm like a kid. I was, oh my God, I've got lights. Oh my God, I've got sound. I've got a microphone. I have a stage. I have props under the stairs somewhere. So yeah, and I think being given the freedom to explore, just go get whatever you need to. So I think having things to play with to create a scene that was straight away kind of like inspiring to me.
My right of representation. Mr. Speaker, before I continue, I actually want to thank the majority leader for bringing the debate this way. You use any other means to be heard. Nonetheless, I just want to challenge the majority leader to bring her hand up and see on record.
What do you feel about how it went?
It felt great. I think definitely challenged me, because it was, yes, I could rely on movement, but I had more. I had to use mediums that I didn't kind of like explore with in kind of like a more profound way, which is like spoken word and the lip syncing, but also trying to make jokes with the audience as a way of like, because I'm quite animated as I am anyway, so.
For following house procedure. And I want to thank the whip of the majority for even doing a good job of.
With a lot of my work, actually, there is a sense of I invite audience, but then I also really try to not just have a shallow message that makes any sense. So with this character of Millie Odiebo, who is, you know, like one of the first Kenyan MP woman, and it's just the way she expresses herself, it's the way she speaks to the parliament, which is really pretty much all men, but it's this unafraid and unapologetic way of speaking that is quite political, that is also kind of, that is rooted in kind of like in colonial way of governing. So for me to kind of weave that in a way that is kind of like through comedy and satire, yes, it's kind of funny, but it's actually, the nuance is deep.
It was a pretty serious
piece, it's really kind of serious. Yeah, so I would like to somehow find what that character is.
So you wanted to make the piece of work because she's radical?
She's radical, she's also a feminist, she's also, she's an African character as well, and there was also politically, you know, there's the manner of speaking is kind of very much, it's unnatural for me to watch. It's unnatural because I'm like, this is not it's taken from British Empire, the way they used to rule, and even the way it's set up in the parliament, it's exactly as it is in Westminster. So for me, I laugh about it because it's unnatural, but then at the same time when they speak and they have this kind of like, you know, throw a ball just as they do in Westminster. I find it quite interesting as a way of like, to me, could even be mocking the system. But it's not. It's really serious. They're talking about serious issues. But for me as an artist, the lens I view this exchange happening, to me, I'm like, this was never how you dealt with each other. So I find it to be quite unnatural, but quite funny.
So it's it's a lasting footprint of colonialism on the way that Kenya is now ruling itself, and you're reflecting that you find that very removed from originally, how it might have evolved without colonialism in the mix.
Thank you for putting that. That's exactly what it is. But also not just in the context of Kenya. Pretty much all the African countries that were colonized, they have these systems of their colonizers in their political sphere, and how they talk about issues that are quite, I guess, that needs to be vetoed, or that needs to kind of have some kind of a change. And the way they talk about issues is pretty much through the lens of the colonizer's lens, but not even. It's almost like the way they were left is pretty much.
How would they be talking about issues without?
Well, that's the thing. I don't even know. And also, you don't want it to go back to what it used to be, because it was also unfair. Maybe women didn't have a chance, or there could be kind of situations where there would be unfair treatment towards either party of the society. So I don't know, but because I know it's rooted already from a legacy that is not pretty much their legacy, it becomes more, for me, it becomes very much, I guess, a drive as a way of exploring satire and comedy, through the work, and not just this work that I've done here, but really much of the work that I do has, I guess, I explore these serious issues through comedy.
Yeah. But was there some anger in there?
Some anger.
Well, I remember you were sounding quite feisty. A lot of this was through the full play when I was listening during the week as it was unfolding. There was quite, there was definitely a confrontational.
Confrontation, because she is very confrontational as a character. And she makes it clear that she is the first woman, and she deserves to be there.
Yeah.
She seems like no man is gonna speak to me. It's almost saying that it's like, you can't speak to me. There needs to be a level of respect, almost like I am older than you. Which again, I grew up around this.
That's a respect.
Yeah, that's what they kind of do, really, because she is one of the first, and she's an elder, and not an elder. She's been around for a while. And she even asks some of the younger women MPs to look up to her. So there's also this kind of connotation that around these narratives that I grew up around, where you don't speak back to someone who's older than you. So there's these things that I've lived as a kid growing up. You don't talk back because this person, they could be wrong, but you don't speak to them. Yeah. So there's also these kind of elements that are quite nuanced in the work. So I guess it's work that really has, it's a beginning of something that could be, that could be more.
Like the most ideal artist residence look like?
Oh wow!
What should a residency be? What would a perfect residency be? Obviously, it goes without saying, being properly paid.
I always think about elevation, and I think about how. So, for example, what we did in May. For me, I can't just do that. It's like the next thing I do has to be
Has to be more.
It's this at another level. It's the same thing. People always say, "Oh, but can you not continue with dandyism?" I'm like, well, but I think dandyism has really done enough. But now what else? You know, how can we elevate? And how do we enhance the work? And a lot of it, you know, as sad as it sounds, and it's really tough at the moment, but it's about money and time, and making sure that there's so much I can do as a solo artist, but there's amazing things that I can do if I had 3 other artists in the room with me. So it's about, I love learning from artists that I really respect. You know, for example, who's to say that, you know, I was showing you Akeem, for example, like amazing mover, but also singing. It's like, gosh, imagine having him for like 3 days, you know. And then in the region, I always feel like, oh gosh, who can I engage with in the region? Then you really think, and it's like, it's really tough to think about. But then you think, actually, maybe I would love for you to suggest a musician. I don't know, like really, so we create, it's about also creating a relationship with someone who I never worked with, who is also recommended to me, because it's about taking risks, you know. So I'm not necessarily interested in it's Ziza and Ziza's connection. Actually, no, I need to make new connections. Because I'm at the moment in my practice where I would love to work with a sick guitarist or vocalist. I would love to work with, I don't know, as videographer. Like all these things are possible, you know.
Would it be weird if a venue put a residency group together? Would it be weird if a venue was like, you know, you do amazing things, you do amazing things, you do amazing things. Here's some space. What's gonna? But I mean, often collaborations tend to be a bit more organic than that, don't they?
Maybe a dream.